Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void! And today it's going to be a game between Namshar and jheffe here on Kairos Junction, the latter edition. Bottom right-hand corner, the red Terran player. It is the American Terran player from Storm Gaming, jheffe. And in the top left-hand corner, the blue Zerg player from Infinity Gaming. It is Namshar, and he's Swedish. Alright, so Infinity Gaming versus Storm Gaming, two great organizations dedicated to StarCraft 2. Two great players in a ZVT matchup. Very, very excited to bring this to you today. It is high-level, GM-level stuff here. Namshar plays professionally. jheffe has competed in WCS Challenger events and taken games off of players. He asked Namshar if there are any Zergs around his skill level. Think I might be able to pump for customs. I guess that's what PUMP stands for? Is pump or just play against? I guess practice on for customs. I really don't know. Now, Namshar's a great player, you guys. I actually cast for Infinity Gaming every Saturday, and I've cast a free-for-all for them last Saturday, maybe a couple Saturdays ago now. I'm not sure exactly when that was, but they made Namshar go off-race because he's too good as Zerg. He went Protoss, and he won the thing anyway. So, I mean, he's very, very good. Very good at StarCraft, even if it's Protoss, not his main race, Zerg. I like Namshar quite a bit. And if you're interested in watching me cast live StarCraft on a weekly basis on Twitch at a high level, go ahead and check out the Twitch channel for Infinity Gaming. It is IXG Pro. I'll put a link in the description. You can check me out there. Namshar's trying to help jheffe out here. He's trying to think of somebody, but not really. Nothing is coming to mind here. jheffe says that his TVZ is horrendous. He could really use some practice with it, and honestly, that's totally fair. Thanks for thinking anyway. jheffe's a nice dude. He's a nice dude. Alright, so we have a Reaper here. His name is Ralph, the Space Baseball Referee. Ralph was a fair and honest referee who judged the Dominion's third favorite sport, Space Baseball, in the last game of the World Series. Come back, I gotcha. The Core Hall Crushers faced off against the Skyger Skydivers. It was the bottom of the ninth. The Crushers were up a run. The Skydivers had second base, but already had 2 outs. The Skydiver star player got up to the bat and swung. The ball flew into the air, flying into the outer field. The Crusher star player reached out to catch the ball. The ball briefly landed in the middle, but the ball slipped out of the player's grasp. The 2 Skydivers ran like their lives depended on it and scored. The Crusher player threw it home just as the Skydiver hitter slid in. Ralph called the run as safe. The Skydivers won the World Series, and unfortunately, Emperor Menk's favorite team was the Crushers. Ralph was not judged fairly or honestly and was sent to the Reaper program. Alright, man, so you're trying to do stuff here, but man, Lings are out, Queens are out. It's too late, man. Can you pick off that creep tumor? No, not with Lings here, not with Queens here. It's just not going to happen. It's a good effort. It's a good effort for sure. Knocking that Queen away was kind of fun, but the tumor is down. You can't hop up over here because this is too... You can hop here, though, can't you? Just run over here and hop up and get in the main base and see what's going on, good sir. I mean, just don't die to this queen, which the goal here is not dying to this queen. Third base is on the way from Namshar. jheffe is moving right into additional barracks, a factory, and a third command center. So no Banshees for the Terran player today. He's just going for bio-style stuff, in addition to possibly maybe some Hellions on the harass. It's not going to be a lot of Hellions, though. At least not initially, because there was not a reactored factory there. Now it is reactored. And we're going to go for 2 Hellions. Okay, so definitely Hellion pressure. He understands the matchup well enough to know how to do this, at the very least, right? You go Reaper into Hellion pressure, into pretty much whatever you want at that point. We see a lot of Banshees from players like Special. We sometimes see Cyclone harass from players like Thermal. It just really depends. You have a lot of options as Terran. It's hard to pull off. It is hard to beat a Zerg player as Terran these days. A little bit harder than it is to beat the other races, but you can still totally do it. As evidenced by Innovation beating Serral in a cast from a couple weeks ago. Thermal took down Raynor in a cast a couple weeks ago. Those people who think that Zerg is unbeatable, just there's evidence on the channel that they're not. Not unbeatable. Not even Serral is unbeatable. He bleeds. He's a human, okay? Serral's not a robot sent to destroy us all. Meanwhile, Roach Warren just about done. It is. There we go. Finishing up for Namshar right on the front lines. He's going to go ahead and start making some roaches to do with the Hellions that are sure to be showing up. And by that, I mean they're back here playing base defense. For some reason. A Ling did get in, which is fair. These Marines are patrolling, I guess, against Overlords that might try to wander on in here. That third base by jheffe is pretty darn early. I'm liking it. I'm liking trying to kind of out-macro the Zerg player if you can. Throwing up blind spores right now is Namshar, and really not going to be necessary. There's not a... Okay, there is a starport on the way now. That does get scouted, but it is building a reactor, which means it's going to be for medevacs. We're not going to see Liberators. We're not going to see Banshees here. And sure, Spores are good. We're Right, Spores are fine dealing with drops, but really they're better against Banshees and they're better against Liberators, which we're not going to see any of in this game, I don't think, if my powers of prediction are okay. The problem for jheffe is he's killed 0 workers. It's 5 minutes into the game, and Namshar is sitting happily at 57 drones, which is a beautiful, beautiful place to be. And our friend jheffe has not slowed him down at all. This is looking really bad for Psystorm Gaming's Terran player. Again, Namshar, I think, is favored in this game, according to a Ligulac. Namshar has played in WCS events in the round of 32, round of 16, and jheffe just has not. He's not quite there. Still a great player. Still close enough to where I feel like he has a good chance to win this game. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. Baneling Nest on the way from Namshar. He's working on a lair. He's getting +1/+1 for his Lings and his Banelings and his Ultras if he gets there at all. And 3-wheeled Hellions. I like this skin. I like the tri-wheeled Hellion from Terran here. All right, so we're just sitting up on the edge of the creep. We got Marines. We got Medivacs. We're pushing on in. I'm going to kill these tumors and announce our presence initially here. And there's the Hellbat transformation. All right, so 14 Banelings are on the way, but they're not quite here yet. Namshar might have gotten caught with his pants down here. These Banelings were late. Lings can't do anything about this. He's trying to force a cancel on the Banelings. I don't know if he can. These Lings running in and getting massacred by the Hellbats, especially with Medivacs healing them up. That's amazing. The Banelings do come in. There's a pretty good lift there. Pretty good lift, saving a bunch of stuff. A lot of Lings died. Resources lost here. Definitely favoring the Terran player. 1,500 to 724. And a third base is landing by jheffe behind it. I like it. He's expanding while attacking. He's harassing. He does up killing a ton of Zerglings. And where's your fourth base? Fourth base there for Namshar. As soon as I ask about it, he starts tossing it down because he is a total baller like that. Now, bio upgrades on the way from jheffe. He's definitely going for as much bio as he can muster here. Not going race car mech, which is an option. Not going regular mech, which we've seen Beastie QT do from time to time against Zerg. Pretty good pickups. A couple Marines die, but otherwise not too bad. I mean, any Terran worth their salt is going to be able to pick up in time when this surround happens. That was decent. Baneling hit didn't do a whole lot of damage there. This Medivac is almost dead, and there's a Queen right there, so it's time to pull on back home safely to the third base. Fourth base on the way. Third base running for jheffe. He's at 65 workers now. He's actually more. He's ahead of workers compared to Namshar. Macro Hatch coming up inside the main base. Creep spread is actually pretty fantastic for Namshar. He does love his creep spread. He's very good at it. He takes pride in it as well. And +2/+2 on the way from Namshar. He's getting the Hydralisk Den. He's getting the Infestation Pit. Gonna see Hydra, Ling, Baneling here. Oh, getting a Creep Tumor is a decent victory. And a Creep Queen in the mix too. Another tumor might get killed before the scan wears off, and he does end up getting it here, so killing tumors is really important. And a fourth base going down on location for jheffe. Whoa! That is some really brave stuff, man. I mean, what do we have for Namshar? 25 Lings and 13 Banes. Maybe that's not actually enough to stop this. Especially not if you have a responding army to deal with it. I like this. It's just moving around jheffe. Can he actually handle this many Lings? Well, until the Banelings show up anyway. Meanwhile, attacking on into this fourth base is another drop. jheffe, it's kind of all over the place. The Lings are responding to the stuff at the main base. Some getting sent down to deal with the stuff at the fourth, but not enough Lings. I don't think that is enough Lings. Maybe it was. Perhaps it was here. Nice response to the drop inside the main base by Namshar, shutting that down quite ably. And a +1/+1. Plus, yes, there we go. Just finishing for jheffe. +2/+2 on the way for the Terran player. People sometimes ask, how come you don't have the little countdowns for upgrades coming up on that right side in all of your casts? If the game was not played with a WCS Game Heart interface attached to it, which has to be chosen in a custom game before the game starts, I don't get that stuff. Medivac picked up. I think that was empty, though. Medivac hiding over here. But I really feel like its days are numbered, just based on the fact that there are Queens and Spores. And I think that's a dead full Medivac, ladies and gentlemen. It's close. It is close to a dead full Medivac. But actually, no. Managed just to unload here. Oh, does get picked off. But some units do manage to unload as well, but they get completely destroyed by Lings and Queens. Attacking here at the fourth base. Are there enough Marines? Are there tanks set up here back here too? Yes! This is innovation-style stuff where you set up the tanks, but this is enough Lings and Mains to actually crush through here and get rid of a couple of the tanks, but not all of them. Still 2 tanks remaining. Still the assault on the fourth base continues here from jheffe. What was I trying to say a second ago? I was saying something important. Now it is gone. Oh, right. And ladder matches, as they're not custom games, they're ladder matches. They never have the WCS interface attached, and as a result, ladder matches never have that thing. It's sad, and it's tragic, but you do what you can with it here. All right, tanks still setting up. Marines fighting Lings, trying to get on in here. Pretty good split on the tanks, but that's a lot of dead tanks. The Lings getting nice surrounds. The Marines staying alive fairly well. That's a huge Baneling hit, though. Never mind. jheffe's army gets absolutely wiped out A medevac full of Marines, almost full of Marines, manages to escape. The army supply is 62 to 56, though, in favor of jheffe. He's been macroing behind this. He's working on that 2-2. Still resources lost. Favor jheffe. 5,600 to 7,900. Lings cruising on in. They are +2/+2 Lings, which is really, really scary stuff. A hive on the way from Namshar at 10 minutes as well. He's got a 5th base down in the bottom left-hand corner. jheffe has not been able to kill any bases. He has killed 3 drones, which is good, but not good enough, I don't think, to take down Namshar. Whew. Breather break there. This has been a pretty good game. Lings cruising on down, trying to see, is there a 4th base here? No, he doesn't know about this one. That's kind of sneaky mind games from jheffe. I think a 4th base would be here, but nope. It's actually here. Now there's a planetary fortress. Lings aren't doing anything about that. More creep clearing happening. More queens trying to get picked off. The Lings come in for the surround again. There's a good number of marauders here, which are actually pretty bad, as marauders trade terribly against Lings. And tank fire chasing away the remainder of Namshar's Lings here. There's a bit of another drop, another attack coming on in, clearing out creep. jheffe doing what he can to slow down the Zerg. He can't kill drones right now. He's trying his very best. But in the meantime, killing creep tumors is like the 2nd best thing, or maybe the 3rd best thing you can be doing. I guess killing individual Zerglings out on the map is totally fine too. That counts as killing Zerg. And that is kind of the main objective of the game, I guess, after killing the buildings. Creep tumors do not count as buildings, unfortunately. Vipers on the way. Ultralisks on the way for Namshar. The cavern is about 20% complete sometime before we get there. The Hydras are here to pick off fleeing medevacs. Can't quite do it because of that dead airspace back there. jheffe continuing to come in here again. He's been practicing a lot with his multi-pronged harass, and it really does behoove you to do that as a Terran player. Nice transfuses, keeping those 3 queens alive in the face of some 2-2 bio. That's some gorgeous play out of Namshar. Working on 3-3 for his ground melee units as Namshar. Ultralisk Cavern almost done. Adrenal Glands on the way. Definitely going to be Ling Ultralisk, Baneling Hydralisk for the anti-air here. jheffe is moving into Ghost. He is making Ghost. He's making Ghost. He's doing pretty well for someone who sucks at TVZ, I must admit. Tank fire, creep queen down. Creep queen not down. Lings coming in to save their queens. Tank fire here on these Lings, though. Friendly fire taking out one of those tanks, but otherwise chasing the rest of the swarm back. And heading on down, more Lings and more Banelings here. So at this point of the game, what is it? Maxed out to maxed out. Resources lost definitely favoring jheffe. He's sitting happily on 4 bases, 5 bases for Namshar, which is totally fine for the Terran player. Working on 3-3, working on Ghosts. I gotta say, I love the Ghosts against Ultralisks. Dropping in the main base too is jheffe. He takes down an Overlord. He's taking down some Banelings. Got to target fire those Banes and deal with Lings later. No, the Baneling does hit. Oh, Baneling does hit. Queen's there to do some anti-air against the medevacs again. And this has just been, look at another attack from jheffe. I gotta say, I'm still impressed with his ability to micro this well and just hit different locations all at the same time. Namshar trying to take a 6th base up here, but nope. That gets killed without a cancel. Creep Tumor's getting picked off here as well. Namshar says, enough is enough. Let's go. Steady targeting, though. Pretty great. The Ultras all die. Every Ultralisk is dead, and the Viper gets picked out of the sky there, too. What target firing out of jheffe there. That was disgusting play. Ghosts, man, if you struggle with Ultralisks as Terran, Ghosts are the best friend you can ever have in the entire world. Marines wandering onto the natural base, taking down a queen. Some Lings rolling in, but it's not enough. Even with Adrenal Glands, it's not enough. Although picking off a medevac is definitely enough for another attack coming on in. 120 to 104 army supply. jheffe has a lead. That 3 attack is done. Massively important when dealing with Zerg. Having that 3 attack for your Marines and your Marauders and your Ghost. jheffe takes a 5th base here at the 630 position. Tanks on the high ground. Can that tank hit this hatch? No, it cannot. Just barely. The map designer knew what they were doing when setting up that high ground really that close to a Zerg base, recognizing you can't hit it. Maybe from here to that extractor, though. Possibly. All right, so coming on again, the Zerg swarm cruising on in here, getting some seriously good Baneling hits. Oh, the Ghosts have got to get out. Where are the Ghosts? They're not taking Baneling hits, that's for sure. Exploding on tanks a little bit harmlessly there. That is something that I think jheffe's okay with, is losing Baneling, or losing tanks to Banelings. Medevacs getting picked out of the sky, not good. Great target firing there by Namshar. There are only, how many medevacs in the sky? 1. There's 1 medevac right now. Tacking on in again, forcing another cancel. Losing everything, though, to the responding force from Namshar. Throwing up additional command centers here to protect his investments. Marauders going after the 5th base. Are they going to get the 5th base? I don't actually know. Lings coming in to surround the Marauders. The Marauders die, but a bunch of Lings going with them. Lings and Banelings coming off that ramp. Seems like a pretty bad idea. They decided to turn around and go home. Greater Spire on the way now for Namshar. Broodlord's a pretty darn good answer, but once again, steady targeting pretty good too. Keeping these ghosts alive has been really the target here for Namshar, or for jheffe, and he's been doing a great job of it. Replacement 6th base by Namshar is done. Here in the center left of the map, there is a Marine hit squad trying to do something about that over there. These ghosts are very happy with themselves, by the way. 8 kills, 5 kills, 3 kills. They're expensive, but they are totally worth it. Marauders in the middle of the map getting started by Lings and picked off. Corruptors in production now. These Corruptors will be Broodlords very, very soon. jheffe needs to be able to deal with that. Marines, Marauders coming in, getting more hits up on this hatchery and that Queen. Tank firing, Queen dies. No, the transfuses, man. Namshar's transfuses are so good, but the Ling counterattack inside the natural base of jheffe is causing major problems too. Can he clean this thing up? I don't know. I don't see any of our units able to clean that one up at all. Marauders standing in 3-3 Marauders versus these Queens, who don't actually have that great of upgrades. They don't have attack upgrades. They do have 3 armor, which is nice, but Marines and Marauders coming down to clear out the Zerg infestation inside his own base. He has lost 7 SCVs, which is fewer than I thought he was going to in that situation. More tank fire on this. Queen has taken so much damage, and she is just not done yet. She is not dead yet, but maybe this time she is dead. The Marauders do take her down. Once again, more firing. Is he abandoned this base entirely? He abandons the 5th base entirely. Amazing pickup for jheffe there. So we're looking at a 5-basing Terran versus a 5-basing Zerg, soon to be a 6-basing Terran. jheffe is playing this exceptionally well, and he's going for nukes. jheffe, you are too good to us. You are just too good to us, man. All right. Are we going to have a break? Absolutely not. jheffe moving into the 4th base. The Broodlords are here. Get on out. Get on out of there. Your Marines and Marauders do not want to fight against Broodlords at all. However, oh, does he get a nuke off? Does he get the nuke? There's a spore here, though. That ghost is going to die. He tried. He tried his best, and he didn't succeed. Is that another cancel on this base up north? Namshar's tried to have this base for the last 5 minutes, and it's just not allowed. Not allowed by jheffe. The army that prevented it dies. Obviously, more creep tumors going down, pushing 6th bases up at the planetary fortress with sensor towers up. I like the sensor tower usage by jheffe. I feel like Terrans love to use it in TVT, but not so much in TVZ or TVP. I don't quite understand why. This tank has 46 kills. Steady targeting those Queens were our ghost friends. A 46 kill siege tank is a hero siege tank, man. Absolutely massive. These ghosts being kept alive this long was really, really good too. More nukes on the way for jheffe. Really not going into Viking at all. Somehow, some way, Marines, Marauders, 3-3 Marines and Marauders are here trying to split against these Banelings, doing a pretty good job of it. The Broodlords do show up, but focusing down the 5th base, or the replacement 5th base. Is it enough? No, too many Banelings coming in. The base ends up surviving, transfusing it. The Marines do end up getting it. Everybody dies, but they took down the hatch. They sacrificed their own lives, but they got the hatch. The Broodlords came in too late. Namshar is sitting on, effectively, the income is horrible right now. Nukes coming in here. A weird place for him, but we'll watch him with great interest anyway, because nuke explosions are very, very pretty. Some of the most pretty animations in all of StarCraft 2. Namshar is up 98 to 85 army supply, but that income is abysmal right now, and his bank is nothing. He's got 69 minerals in his bank. The income for jheffe is insane. Just another base. Another base. It seems like every minute here, Lings are winning these skirmishes out on the map, but they're not winning major battles. They're not killing entire bases. The attack into the natural was fine, but it wasn't necessarily game-changing, and suddenly it's 198 army supply in favor of jheffe. The income is insane. The bank is insane. His ability to win a matchup and win an engagement and then continue to make units is great. Finally, 8 Vikings on the way for jheffe. It took him a while, but he decided it was time to actually maybe get the counter to Broodlords. Can't really count on nukes, man. Gonna throw that out there. There's an overseer who's leading the way, because obviously you want to make sure you don't get nuked with the Broodlords, because the Broodlords are slow and they're big targets and they stack. And if you can't get that nuke dot in time, and even if you do get it before it lands, moving the Broodlords away is hard, and etc., etc., etc. So the ghosts are here. They are ready. Got their guns in the air. They're ready to throw something out here. They're ready to throw down some steady targetings if necessary. jheffe, I don't know, man. Is he pushing up? He's trying to take down this base again, or go into the main, I guess. Why not at this stage? The main's a fine target, although there's a spore crawler there. This Ghost, man. Oh, tries to get another nuke off. The Overseer leaves. Oh, the Overseer left the position. The Queens aren't bothering to kill him. Now they are. Dude, where do the Lings go? Okay, well, the nuke's going to happen. Bunch of drones going down. The main base attack is going really well for jheffe to push on into this base with Vikings. Parasitic Bomb explodes one of the Vikings there. Additional nukes. I think that one got canceled. I'm not sure if that one actually landed. The attack in the main does get cleaned up by Namshar finally. Everybody dies, but suddenly it's 175 to 144 supply. I am just aghast at what's happening here to Namshar right now, you guys. 48 workers killed by jheffe. He's only lost 7 of his own. It's suddenly 71 to 33 workers in favor of our Terran player, which is insane. 2 more nukes on the way. I think jheffe has this thing, you guys. I don't want to cast or curse it. I don't want to call it before it's over. The Broodlords are still very scary, but they're used in a defensive position. These are offensive units, Namshar. These are used for sieging. They're not used for defense. If you defend with them, they're too slow, but I guess you do want to keep close to home here to one of your mining bases if you have to. This base up in the north I really think should be threatened a little bit more by jheffe, but he's been doing really well with threatening multiple places at once as it is. 71 to 42 workers. jheffe still has that massive lead. Resources lost here at 10,000 resource favor there for jheffe, our Terran player from Storm Gaming, another Cloaked Ghost. Moving out, trying to see the what is what. Oh man, I got the Widow Mine. Ugh. Still got the Widow Mine. Are you seriously gonna... That death cry. It gets me every time. Lings and Hydras here, but that's a pretty sizable push from jheffe. Oh man, if you don't attack, he just focuses down the hatch and he gets the hatch. Sure, he loses a ton of Marauders and a couple medevacs in the process, but that's totally fine. He didn't actually lose that many medevacs. Losing a base for Namshar is incredibly difficult at this point. He didn't respond properly. The Broodlords are just kind of sitting here. Oh, he's not going to land again and get this thing, is he? I don't know. Landing in the main and picking off some more stuff seems pretty good. Another nuke along the left side. We're going to keep an eye on that guy. Extractor down. Main hatchery for Namshar down. Nuke going to land at this 4th base. Ghost has 11 kills, which is pretty good. The attack in the main gets shoved away. We got Vikings flying in. There's your Parasitic Bomb, but he's focusing down. He's taking Fungals too. And Infested Terrans are here, but he's picking off the Broodlords pretty darn well. The Broodlord count, okay, is still stupid high, and all the Vikings are dead. That did not go well for jheffe at all, but he is making 9 Vikings back home. Army supply 114 to 102. Another nuke on this base that Namshar is trying to mine from. He has to pull the drones and lose the mining time. This Ghost is like, oh man, do larvae count as kills? I don't actually know. An attack in the north here happening there. And, oh, did he? I think that Ghost got neuroparasited and then walked over here. Watch this. Watch this. Check it out. Oh, no, just abducted. Okay, so just abducted. Which cancels the nuke. Pretty good stuff. Dropping to the main base. jheffe has set up a summer residence here in Namshar's main. He's been here so much. Is he gonna maybe try to draw these units into the main and then the snipe on this base while he's distracted? Interesting setup. I'm liking it from jheffe here. While he has an attack down here of Ghost just outside, just inside of his own sensor tower. And yeah, Ultraless Cavern getting sniped off. I don't think Namshar's planning on making any more Ultras after that massacre that was all the Ultras dying to steady targeting. Oh, the Baneling hits, though. The Baneling hits at this base. He's trying to take down this base at the north. Again. But no, it's not going to happen for you. Big army down here. Oh, that's a base. jheffe took a base down here, you guys. That's amazing. The spawning pool is picked off. Namshar immediately replaces it. Hydra's coming up. Hydra's pretty darn good against Marauders. That is a good counter there because they don't take the bonus damage from the Marauders' attack. And they hit fast and they hit hard. jheffe is on how many bases, you guys? How many bases is it? All right, here we go again. Trying to take down these Broodlords with the Vikings. Did he snipe? Oh, the Overseers are not present. There's your steady targeting. The Broodlords are taking serious damage. Still a whole bunch remaining here. More steady targeting, though. And suddenly we're down to 2. Suddenly we're down to 1. Suddenly all of them are gone, and that's a good game. Namshar taps out, and jheffe is our winner in 24 minutes and 26 seconds with incredible multi-pronged assaults, great ghost play. The Vikings were good too. Just everywhere. He was everywhere in this game. He had a 53 to 38,000 resources lost advantage over Namshar here. Absolutely amazing play from jheffe. If he's capable of this, I've been casting jheffe for a while. He was Masters once, but now he's at the point where he can take down a professional Zerg in this patch of Legacy of the Void. And I could not be happier. I love watching players that I've cast for a long time get better and better and improve their skills. jheffe has definitely been working his butt off. And he did it. He got the win against Namshar here. Not easy. Not easy to do, but man, if you can do what he did, if you can be everywhere at once, if you can use ghosts effectively, if you can counter what the Zerg player is doing, you have a chance. If you can get nukes to land against Zerg, you're probably going to be fine too. Oh boy, that was a good one. That was really, really, really great TVZ. Amazing. All right. Well, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. And you take care of yourself.